Hello friends, I am Dr. Deepak Kumar Gupta. I am working as an assistant professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, Krishna Engineering College, Ghaziabad. I welcome you all in my lecture series on digital system design. This subject is for Electronics and Communication Engineering branch student who are studying in second year. In order to cover the entire syllabus of digital system design, here we use the following three books. Number one is Digital Design by M. Morris Meno. Another book that we prefer is Modern Digital Electronics written by R.P. Jain. And third important book is Fundamental of Digital Circuits written by A. Anand Kumar. So I hope with the help of these three books I will cover the entire syllabus of this subject. So let me start with my first lecture, that is Introduction to Digital System Design. So before starting this lecture, I would like to ask a question: what is digital electronics? So the simplest answer is, this is the branch of electronics where we deal with the digital signals. The digital signals which are used to perform the various tasks and meet the various requirements. The digital philosophy is based on the different design methodologies, and the design methodologies are consisting of the digital circuits. Mostly the digital circuits are made up with the help of different ICs called integrated circuit, and the essential component of an IC is logic gates. So with the help of logic gates we have to make a complete IC, or with the individual logic gate we can make digital design. In digital theory, or in order to design the digital circuit, the signal, that is the entity of processing element, is basically represented by the binary digits. The digit that is either 0 or 1. We will talk in detail about these, what is binary digits. So another important question is, why was the digital system needed, or why we are studying this subject? So basically we are using analog system, but the analog systems which we are using in our daily life, they are less accurate, they are slow, their performance is limited. There are several other drawbacks of the analog systems, whereas digital systems have ability to work faster than the analog one. Also, it can operate at very high frequency. If we talk a more detail or the advantage of digital system, then we can say the digital systems are much more economical than the analog one because of its methodology, and its performance is faster than the digital system. Today itself, most of the devices, almost all the devices, whether home appliances, whether used for banking system or whether used for the mobile biomedical applications, and in fact all uh, field of applications, we use the different instruments which are deal with the digital theory, or we can say they are digital devices. Laptop, computer, mobile, the different gadgets, these are the popular devices, digital devices that we are using in our daily life. So as the name of this subject is digital system design, so what actually we are going to learn here? We are going to deal with the different concepts, the different tools, the different design methodologies which are used to make a digital hardware. That digital hardware basically consisting of the logic circuits, and that logic circuits performing arithmetic as well as logical operations. So this is one of the most important interesting subject for engineering students. All students are learning this subject with very ease and comfort. So we are using a word digital. So actually what is digital signal and what is analog signal? If we compare both the signals, then in a layman language we can easily say The signal whose quantities vary continuously over a specified range, or whose magnitude can easily be determined at any instant of time. That signal is called analog signal. But the physical quantities or signals that can assume only a discrete value is called the digital signal. Actually, there is a process. The process is called analog to digital converter. So here we have the analog signal, then it is to be converted into the digital one by following it through the A to D converter. So inside the A to D converter, I will study in the third unit in detail. There are different type of A to D converters, but in all the converters, in all A to D converter, we have the analog signal. That analog signal is fed into the input terminal of analog A to D converter. The first basic element of the A to D converter is sampler, where our signal is sampled, then quantized, then encoded, and after encoding we will have the digits of zeros and ones called the digital signal. So here we have shown the digital signal, a discrete signal. This is actually a discrete signal. So when this signal is quantized and encoded and each label is assigned with the different binary digits, then we will have the string of data called the digital. Here we have shown a few more differences in between the analog systems and digital systems. So usually analog systems having the larger circuits, it occupies the more area, whereas digital systems, because of using the integrated circuit, it occupies the less area. Analog measuring instruments are less accurate. There is a chance of misreading, whereas digital measuring instruments are more accurate. So there is no case of misreading in almost all the scenario. Its precision is too high comparatively to analog system. Another difference is the instruments are very delicate. They are hard in most of the cases when the devices are drop or false. So this is not happening in the digital system in most of the cases. If we talk about the applications of the digital systems, then we can say there are huge applications. Either we are using in a communication, or we are using in a home appliances, or we are using in a biomedical systems, or we are using in an automobile itself. In fact, all field of applications consisting or made with the help of the devices through the digital theory. Here we have shown an example, wonderful example. Suppose we are having a CD drive. So we know the CD drive containing the information in a digital form. So whenever we play the CD, it means a string of 1 and zeros are coming out from this, and this signal, this digital signal, is processed through the D2A converter, produces the analog signal, and that analog signal, whenever amplified, then we can easily observe it through the speaker or through any of the media. In the reverse, suppose we are having the analog signal, then it is converted into the digital one, and that can easily be stored in a system or any of the storage media. Inside the digital circuit, the basic element is integrated circuit, generally called ICs. So what is IC? IC is simply a chip made with the help of silicon wafer. So different transistors, either BJT or CMOS components, they are mounted on a single functional unit called chip. So different functionalities according to the requirement, they are made and fabricated on the same silicon wafer is called IC. Depending on the number of components they are fabricated into the IC, we can have the different types, or we can say there is a different scale of integration. So here we have the different scale of integrations. For example, small scale integration, large scale integration, and very large scale integration, simply called VLSI. So what is this? This is basically the number of components they are fabricated into same single chip. Normally transistors are counted as a component. So LSI, MSI, VLSI, these are the different types of ICs or integrated circuits. And inside the integrated circuit, what actually is there? There is a gates. Okay, so logic gates, basically we can have the three different types of gates. One we can categorize as a basic gate. So here we have shown the three different types of basic gate: AND gate, OR gate, and NOT gate. So with the help of these three basic gate, we can make any of the function of the digital circuit. So suppose we are having any of the equation or any of the function which we need to implement, then with the help of these three gates we can easily design the circuitry. Also there is a two more gate called the universal gates. So they are either NAND gate or NOR gate. So either with the help of NAND or with the help of NOR gate, we can make or we can implement the same equation or the same functionalities. So there is no need of any other gate whenever we use the NAND or NOR. That's why this is called universal gate. So AND gate, OR gate, or NOT gate is basically called the basic functional block of a digital circuit. And these gates are basically deal with the signal that we call zeros and ones, that is digital signal. So we can say these are the sub components of an IC. In last, if we talk what is the future scope or what are the possibilities of digital electronics, so we can easily say today we are seeing most of the VLSI industries. So VLSI everywhere. If I say electronics engineers, which company you want to go, they easily say, sir, we want to go for the VLSI company. So actually VLSI means where large amount of components are fabricated into a small board or a small chip, whose accuracy is much higher, whose performance is very good. Since digital scopes and digital devices are used in fact all the field of applications, that's why there is a huge scope. Also in communication, suppose if I take a single application, communication, then whenever we send information through the digital media, then it is much more secure than the analog one. That means our data is first of all encrypted at the transmitter side and then decrypted at the receiver side. That's why we can say the communication is much more secure in digital. It is safe and secure. So these are the few factors. That's why we are using this digital electronics. Although there are huge parameters, with different variety of reasons that needs or that shows the requirement of digital theory or digital electronics in our daily life. So for this introductory lecture, I think this is enough. In next lecture, I will start from the basic concepts of number systems or the basics of the digital theory. Thank you.